right, so let's look into the energy of Netflix and the future of Netflix as a company with intuitive insights as well as what the tarot has to share with us about Netflix and its future. So let's get into it. Connecting to the future of Netflix. I feel like Netflix is going through a bit of a battle, and this is something that is happening on the internal levels. They are trying to figure out what direction they want to go in. They're trying to figure out what kind of pricing they want to have. They're trying to figure out what kind of content they want to specialize in or keep on their platform or add to their platform. They are really wanting to bring themselves into like a certain kind of branding. So instead of being the streaming platform for everything, they're considering being a streaming platform for a particular quality of show or movies or a particular style or something like that. So it could be, and this part is just an example, but it could be they really want to specialize in making sure that they have a really nice international selection. Or it could be that they really want to focus on really family-oriented types of content. Things like that. So there's some kind of, I guess, there's a lot of trying to figure things out on what kind of platform they want to be, how they want to take their business in the future, where they want it to go, how they want to be known. I feel like the CEO may be moving on in a few years. I feel like the CEO may be getting a little bit tired of the stress and managing the business. Wow. Okay. Ooh. All right. Got some reversals here. Actually, I'm going to pull this one out too because it was at the bottom of the deck before I started. Let's see what else I get before we start looking into the cards. And there's no set spread for this. Just going to read them completely fluidly. I guess a lot wants to be said here. We may move into the cards sooner than I normally would. All right, let's see. Anything else that I'm picking up on Netflix and its future? I think they're going to have more diversity on their platform. And I actually feel like Netflix has done a pretty good job about that. But I feel like they're maybe going to want to specialize on that a little bit more, lean into that a little bit more. They see that as the future. So not just shows and movies that have a diverse cast, but maybe ones that are focused specifically or like primarily have a different race. So it could be one that's primarily Chinese or one that's primarily Indian or one that's primarily Black. So they're wanting to have more of that kind of content. Are we going to pull you? No. They just think that that is really the way to go. That's the future. That's what the market is going to be looking for. I don't know that they feel a sense of responsibility, like doing this because it's a responsible thing, it's a fair thing, it's the best portrayal of all of America, not just parts of America, and wanting to give the best portrayal. I don't think that they're necessarily thinking about that. I think they're really thinking about it from a business standpoint, not a trying to be a leader, cultural leader standpoint. I think we may have some more shows that involve spirituality, maybe some cult-like aspects, a little bit more around drugs that could become legalized in time, psilocybin, etc. The cult-like ones are just going to be, I feel, a little bit more playful, a little more fun. I want to get into the cards, but I feel like I have maybe a little more in me, clairvoyant-wise. What else? I feel like their stock is ultimately going to rise. It may go through a little bit of a dip as they figure out these changes. So in the short term, maybe a little bit of a dip. I feel like they may start introducing a little bit more female leadership in their teams and at the C levels, VP levels. I don't actually know about Netflix's structure or stock very much. I'm reading this almost entirely cold. I obviously use the Netflix platform and I know what's on there. So I'm really looking at it as a consumer, not as an investor or anything like that. I don't know if their CEO is male or female. I don't know if they, I don't really know their structure. Just sharing what is coming to me. I feel like Disney is making them think about all these, like start answering some of these questions about who they want to be as a platform. Because they see Disney, which is a little bit more specialized, and they see Disney doing pretty well, and they're looking for that as the next level, as what is their area of expertise, or what is their spot in the market. Right now there's Hulu and there's Amazon Prime and there's Netflix, and there isn't a lot that really differentiates them from each other. And of course they want all the market share, so they want to figure out how they can go about doing that. Okay, so now I feel like, also getting something about French films or French shows. Okay, now I feel like it's time to look at the cards, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that fell out, and as you saw, it fell out like pretty drastically. The first one we have is the Magician. I feel like this is them really trying to figure out who they want to be, asking the right questions, putting the questions out there, and allowing people at the company to share their ideas. So maybe not necessarily everybody at the company, but whoever is in the meetings is deciding this. They're allowing people to share their ideas, to just put whatever they can think of out there. And it's one of those like brainstorming kind of mentalities where it's like, no idea is a bad idea, just throw out all the ideas, maybe even put the bad ideas out first so we get them out of the way, because the more ideas we can generate, the faster we will find the right one. So let's not limit creativity, let's just put it out there, let's just see everything that we need to consider. Because they really want to manifest this change. They really want to manifest their spot. They really want to be a leader in something in the streaming world, the streaming platform arena. The next card we have is the Star reversed. I feel like this represents that they've been struggling. They've been feeling lost as a company. They've been feeling like certain things are slipping away from them, or maybe they're about to slip away from them. And I don't think it's because of competitors. Yes, maybe Disney creates a little bit of competition. Maybe some of the other companies create a little bit of competition, but I feel like they think that it's something else, that it's consumer related, that they're missing out on something or not really satisfying their consumer base in the way that they need to. They have also been increasing their prices, and I feel like that ties into them really wanting to find their niche, because when they find their niche and their sweet spot, they can charge a higher price versus being that generalist. Yeah, I feel like they've been struggling, and they just feel like they haven't really been hitting the mark in a lot of ways. Oh, they had a few like lawsuits and stuff, right? Maybe it's some of that. The next card we have is the Queen of Wands. This is them really trying to figure things out, and really trying to figure it out from a very analytical, business, logical standpoint, not trying to get their emotions involved, not trying to get what their preferences might be into the picture, but really looking at things and trying to be very objective so that they can make the best decision for the company. And I actually do feel like they really want to make the best decision for their consumers and what their consumers are looking for. Then we have the Empress. I feel like they're going to end up being successful. Right now, they are going through this whole birthing process of creating, and they might not even be in the creation phase yet. They're in the trying to come up with idea phases. So it is going to be a bit of a journey, but in about 6 months to 9 months, we might start seeing them starting to position themselves. I think that's all that wants to share with me. But they will be successful in their own time. It's just going to take a little bit of time, even when they start positioning themselves in like 6 to 9 months, and that starts becoming something that we start seeing more publicly. It's probably going to take like a year to a year and a half for that to really solidify and for people to really see them in that light and for it to really start working for them and actually bringing them in some income in that respect. So it's going to take a little bit of time for that to work out. And actually, I feel like with the pandemic and everything, it may slow down the process for them. Like that might be what's slowing down the process because people are around wanting to watch more and not really focusing on what each platform is specific for. They just want to see it all. So that may also slow down their progress, but probably in the long run, it's going to be a good choice for them. Actually, I could kind of see them doing that for a few years, like 3 or 4 years, and being that more branded, specific niche kind of platform, and then switching to something more general later on, or broadening that niche. Probably broadening that niche, but I could see both. Then we have the Ten of Cups. What they want is they do want to, first of all, they would like fulfillment for themselves, but second of all, they would like fulfillment for families. They would like Netflix to be something where families do gather around and the content is safe for the most part for everybody. Everybody has something that they can enjoy. It's like very relatable, very classic kind of content that a whole family can enjoy together, or most of a family can enjoy together. So I think this goes into maybe where they may end up branding themselves and what they may end up focusing on. Which is interesting. I mean, Disney has a lot of younger kid content, which is family friendly. I think they're probably going to want to do something, you know, like a few layers up, like maybe adult content, like content for a more adult audience, but that is still safe for kids and things like that. Still enjoyable for kids. Maybe a lot will go over kids' heads, but they can still enjoy different aspects of it. So maybe they'll want content where there's a few different age groups involved. So like adults, teenagers, and younger kids. And that way everybody in the family has somebody in that show or in that movie that they can relate to and feel connected to, and therefore bond with the content more. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. I think this is going to bring them some good money. And I feel like they're going to really want to think about how they spend that money, because they are going to be more oriented towards families is what it looks like. I feel like they're going to want to use some of their proceeds to benefit charities that support families or support young children or support mothers. And yeah, I feel like they're really going to want to kind of embrace the whole branding that they're going to be going for, to really be known for that and to really solidify where their mentality is whenever they are running the company. Because when you run the company in a particular way and then you also have a charity, like just that whole holistic view of everything helps you always focus on the main mission, which will be their new version of the brand, which looks like it will be family oriented. Then we have the Eight of Wands. They would like to make this choice very quickly because the market moves fast. And it's stressing them out because they really want to move through it quickly, but then they really want to make sure that they actually bring forth the best ideas and that they take their time in the sense that they get the right idea. But they're kind of in this battle, I think that's what this is, Five of Wands, this battle of moving faster so they don't miss out on the market and so they can start planning things and moving forward versus making sure that they have the best idea, because there is always like a battle of being too perfectionistic or not being perfectionistic enough, and there is a bit of that battle. And there may be some arguments going on within the company, especially at the higher levels, where there's a difference in opinion of where things should go. difference of opinion on whether things should be more diverse and should be more diverse. Whether the company should be moving forward more progressively or not. So there's different opinions there, different battles about that. So like political battles, I guess you could call it. There may also be government related battles too. Maybe that's part of the lawsuit, but I actually feel like this is different. It feels like there's something going on with the government and what they would like to do, or the government may be giving them a bit of a hard time. Something around that is also going on for them. Let me see if I can get anything on that government aspect. Yeah, they just have some changes that they want to make, and they're finding it maybe a little bit difficult to navigate or convince some aspects of the government to allow them to do that or to allow it to happen. They may also want to produce more content that is related to space and more of the fringe space kind of content, like ETs and yeah, like more of that kind of content that is like the classified FBI files or whatever, or you know, whatever NSA files or whatever that sometimes they have on Netflix, which I will admit I have watched. But they may want to include some more of that because they see that also as a direction of the future. Just like being more open to ETs. So I guess that could be a little bit difficult because it's kind of in the realm of conspiracy theories, but it's not the same as a lot of conspiracy theories right now that are giving a lot of issues. So that's why they may be having a little bit of a hard time there. Okay, well, I think I got the answer around that. No cards fell out, so when that happens, I feel like it's maybe a complete answer or what we need to know right now. I still don't feel completely complete on that. Okay, so there may be some government officials that are tying their hands or holding them back from things because they want to get more favors. And those are the same government officials that would not be so interested in diversity in shows, etc. So, yeah, I think they're struggling with that. All right, we did get a card now. King of Wands. I think Netflix is going to win in that realm. Netflix is the king of Wands. The one who is the victor at the end of it. So it may be messy though. It's going to be messy for them. Maybe not in the public necessarily, but it's going to be stressful and messy for them. I feel like they're already maybe working through some of that even while they're figuring out a lot of these other answers around how they're going to niche themselves. And it's good that they're doing it that way because otherwise it's good that they have it in parallel. Otherwise they'd be wasting a lot of time trying to figure this out and then trying to figure out their next step. Doing it in tandem is a good idea because then once they have this idea, they'll be ready to go ahead once they have the victory with this. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be messy. Lots of people trying to pull rank in the government, trying to pull, I don't know, money rank, political rank, power rank against them. Maybe some things coming out in the media like unsavory information about Netflix or individuals at Netflix that would be some individuals in government trying to quell or like stop Netflix from having more diverse content or whatever it is on their platform. But Netflix is not going to have it. They're going to be like, sure, share whatever you want to share. We'll deal with the aftermath. But we feel like we need to move in this direction. And actually, I feel like that interaction is going to make Netflix be more of the people because they're going to see what the system is like. Obviously, as a large business, they know what the system is like, but they've seen how it's worked to their advantage. Now they're going to see how it's going to impact or how much it can impact their consumers through their own experience in this situation, trying to create content that fits their consumers. So it might be a moment of awakening for them, actually, and that might be what helps them start a charity. Even though they may raise prices for the consumer, they're probably going to use a lot of those proceeds to help charities and charities related to their kinds of content and helping people out. So we could see a whole new kind of large business here, one that might be a lot more for the people. That's interesting. All right. Well, that is what I'm getting for the future of Netflix. I was doing this reading more as just like for fun or just to see what I would get, but I got a lot of really interesting things. So I'm very excited to see how this all turns out. But with that, I'm going to end this reading here, and I will see you in my next video.